Hello, it's Adam Morrison. When it comes to top-tier contracting, my go-to choice is McGilvery Environmental. I know a thing or two about excellence, and that's exactly what you'll find with Kip McGilvery and his team. They're not just any contractor, they're the best in Spokane and North Idaho. From start to finish, they ensure your project is completed with the highest quality results. With years of experience and expertise, they handle it all. New construction, meticulous repairs, asphalt paving for residential and commercial properties, excavation, and even environmental remediation. So why wait? Reach out to Kip McGilvery Environmental today by calling 208-556-6384 for your free estimate. Don't forget to mention my name, Adam Morrison, and experience the difference McGilvery Environmental brings to the table. Again, that's 208-556-6384, McGilvery Environmental. My number one choice for all my contracting needs. M4 CPA is a family-owned accounting firm passionate about helping businesses and their owners create a secure future for their families. They pride themselves on the quality of their work and put their clients first, ensuring they get the attention and care they deserve. Their mission is to provide exceptional accounting services to help you achieve your financial goals. M4 CPA is all about building long-term relationships based on trust, integrity, and transparency. With a team of experienced professionals, they offer personalized solutions to meet your needs. If you're a Perimeter listener, here's an exclusive offer for you. Mention the Perimeter podcast when you reach out to M4 CPA and get a free business consultation to assess your financial strategies. So, if you're looking for an accounting firm that truly cares about your business, trust M4 CPA. Accounting you can trust with a personal touch. Learn more at m4cpa.com.
It's time for Home Team Rewards. ZAG fans, get your Bulldog branded ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card, the only card where you can earn rewards for everyday purchases while giving back to Gonzaga University. Choose from a Visa Rewards card with a lower rate or a Premier Rewards card with maximum rewards. With no annual fees, card control, and next-level security, you can spend smart from tap to app. ZAGS, rejoice! Find your card at iccu.com/GoZags on approved credit.
Five bonus episode presented by McGilvery Environmental, Idaho Central Credit Union, M4 CPA, the Perimeter. Got David Stockton. What's up, dude? It's been a while. I haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a while, man. Good to see
So
you.
just full disclosure, people listening, me and David are buddies. Known him. I actually coached you. We'll get into that, which is kind of funny. Feel old. But yeah, we wanted to, on an episode with one of the older players, former players, and then we're going to talk about some projects you got working on as well. But it's always interesting to me to see guys that I kind of coached, because I've used to coach a lot of younger dudes or like kids. Mm-hmm. How much better you got after you're done at Gonzaga? And we'll get into that a little bit, but like, how much do you think you improved entirely since you got done playing?
Wow. I mean, it's...
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I said the same thing to Jeremy Pargo one time, and he laughed, but I was like, and this is not completely your case, but I was like, Jeremy, you sucked as a freshman. Mm-hmm. And I meant that like, and he was like, yeah, I couldn't, but he's like so good now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing for you, but like, how much do you think you improved just as a pro?
I think it was just really quickly. I had a really good coach coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was playing, second round pick in the G League. Like they don't even do that anymore. Mm-hmm. And the guy was the coach of Grinnell College, where the kids scored like 150 points the year before. And so he just like unleashed like my potential for offensive ability. Like at Gonzaga, I didn't really do a lot offensively. I mean, I ran the stuff. I got it to guys who needed it, who were good shooters and whatever, but never was looking for my shot a bunch. Yeah. And so just having that mentality and feeling free to do that in this like setting where we were scoring 160 points a night, I just got defense. I got so much better. Really good defense, right? 160 a night. We gave up 180 one time.
That must have been fun.
Yeah, we were pressing the whole game at professionals.
Oh really? Yeah, you can't do that.
It was dumb.
So just quick recap of the people not familiar, obviously from Spokane. You guys won a state championship at Gonzaga Prep, correct?
No, I was like the first team to get the state in a long time. So
really?
We got third. Lost to Tony Roten, and I think it was Garfield. But yeah, after I left, Gonzaga Prep kind of rolled pretty good.
Started rolling. Yeah. Who was Matty McIntyre your coach?
No, he was the JV coach when I was at Prep.
Who was the coach then?
Coach Haugen.
Haugen.
Yeah.
How long was he there?
I think when I moved back, he was the coach.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I'm not familiar with him. So playing there, was it always like your goal, or not goal, but you were going to go to Gonzaga, or were you like thinking of other schools as well? Because I mean, obviously your dad played there. Everybody knows that. Was it because your brother Mike played somewhere else? Houston went somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Your sister played there, one of your sisters, and the other one went to Montana State. So like, obviously it didn't have to be Gonzaga, but for you, just talk about, because I always talk about, what was your like recruiting process like, or your thought process like as a high school player?
Well, it was interesting. It was kind of in the, my dad kind of led us with, how we were going to get better, like kind of our training, but he was kind of behind the fact that high school ball was dying out as far as how you get noticed, how you get.
Yeah, it's AAU now.
And so I didn't play AAU till my senior year.
Wow.
And I had obviously no offers, none, I didn't even start till my junior year at prep, and no offers, and just played on the circuit, got a couple of good, options, like no full scholarships to anywhere.
Yeah, walk-on stuff or something like that.
Idaho was considering like something partial, but never did. And then I got the only real scholarship I got coming out was it Northern Montana in Havre? So
yeah, the Northern Lights.
Yeah,
I used to go to basketball camp.
Yeah, anyway. And so that was the only place that offered me any sort of financial aid, and got lucky. Won a couple tournaments, played against like Abdul Gadi and those guys, and
so you played good enough.
And I played good enough to where Tommy had called me and was like, "Hey, you're in town. You should just come walk on." I mean, we've got a huge history of walk-ons that end up playing. I think you could be one of those guys. Mm-hmm. Tommy and then Coach Rice obviously were big, trying to get me to go walk on at Gonzaga. But that was basically the recruiting process. It wasn't much. Yeah,
that's interesting that you didn't play AAU. Was it that was by choice or just ignorance? And not in a bad way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but like
no,
just
total
not,
ignorance.
Yeah.
I'm just, a kid just trying to figure it out. We're playing tournaments with prep. I didn't, I was worried about, making the prep team for the most of my high school, so I wasn't thinking about, other aspirations, or especially Division I. Like that just seemed so outlandish to me.
So when you get to Gonzaga, you redshirt your freshman, your first year. What was describe the walk-on process for people that don't really understand like what it means at Gonzaga? Because I've said it on the show a million times. Like we all have our own walk-ons, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You understand that. And then there's only a few guys that walked on that actually got into a rotation. You're one of them. Mike Hart's another one.
Ryan Floyd.
You got to go Floydo.
Nilsson.
Say again? Nielsen. But this is like pre-modern era. You're kind of matched into the start of the modern era, if that makes sense.
True.
So like it's harder than people think, and there are great walk-ons, and it's a real thing. Mm-hmm. But just describe the process of like trying to get, because you started to play probably your junior year, correct? Sophomore year a little bit.
I played all my years like slightly.
That's what I'm saying.
Not
like,
a bunch of minutes till my junior and
junior and senior year. Then you were like in the rotation, played, actually role and all those things. Yeah. Just describe like what it's like with that grind, I guess, to people, because you're always like, you have to be on every single day. You can't take a day. You're not a scholarship guy, so you can't fuck around.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, you're waking up every day. You're. For me, especially, it was like, all right, you need to be eating a ton. You need to be lifting a ton. So I was just doing that. Sam Dower was also redshirting that year as well.
Yeah.
And so like we were together like on the road lifting, like when everyone else is like getting ready for a game or napping before a game, like we're just
working
in
out.
The gym working out. It gets, it's tough, but like you said, like having like I was like probably Dimitri's like walk on, like Goodson.
Yeah.
So like if he needed anything, like if I could like help him get better, he wanted to play one-on-one after practice or something, like I was that guy.
Yeah.
Most practices consist of you guarding the first team the entire practice and like no breaks, and you don't even get to like dribble the ball offensively unless there's a scout team.
Red squad. I was on Red squad. My freshman year was awesome.
Yeah.
Loved
and when you get that scout team nod, you like turn into that player, and that's like probably where I got the best like
reps.
Yes, for sure.
get a cook when you're a scout team.
Yeah, coach can't get mad at me if I'm
gunning
because this guy guns.
Yeah, you're wearing the like yellow t-shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like shooter, and you just get a fire. It's awesome. Like,
the
you
best.
talk shit. Like, was it hard for you to like obviously crack the rotation, but then just having Stockton on the back of your jersey in the fact that you're just playing at Gonzaga? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think everything was icing on the cake to where like that didn't really bother me that much.
Yeah.
Like I already knew that if I failed here, I could always move down like without sitting out a year. So like I wasn't too like locked into I have to make it work at Gonzaga. Like if I don't work here, then like I'm a failure. Like no, I just was like, when I showed up to the gym, I was like, I'm gonna play hard today.
Play hard.
Yeah. And it turned out to where I was like, I think I can play with these guys.
Yeah, no, you definitely, like, I GA'd there that 1 year, and it was your senior year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your senior year. And I remember just thinking, like, you and Kevin Pangos used to beat the shit out of each other in practice. Like, you guys just competed so hard against each other, like, where they kind of had to, like, separate you guys. Because it was, like, it wasn't dirty, it wasn't malicious, but it was, like, these guys are, like, trying to kill each other for minutes every day. And it was just great competition, and Kevin would say the same thing, but you guys made each other better. And then, obviously, later in that, or during that season, we kind of had a 3-guard rotation with you and excuse me, Gary Bell and Kevin.
Yeah.
And, that turned out to be a really good offensive team, a fast team. But like you guys, like, it was almost where like, okay, don't hurt each other, fuckers, man. Like you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I mean,
like it was almost like, dude, chill, both of y'all.
Yeah, exactly. I think, Kevin's obviously such a great player, such a good person, and obviously just a competitor, man. So, he comes in and like, in my opinion, he's handed like the keys to the car basically pretty early on. And as me as a competitor, nothing against him, I wanted to kill him for that. You know what I mean? And I think it made us both better. And I think he's gone on to have such a great career. And
no, you guys,
awesome.
You guys both played professionally. You're still playing. He's still playing, I believe. So, it was just interesting as a GA, because I'm just like fresh off the boat, I guess, for coaching or whatever. And it's just like, both of your like guards beat the shit out of each other like this? I don't remember this when I played. You know what I mean? It was just like, it was not odd, but it was like kind of scary. He's like, don't hurt each other.
Yeah.
You had one of the greatest WCC tournament moments in Gonzaga history, right? You bailed us out. I don't think people realize. I remember that game as well, because that was the first year, one of the first years that we had to play the third game.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of it shortly after. And I think that game was kind of the reason why.
Yeah.
It was the Santa Clara game when they had Brown Ridge. Who was the other guard on that team? Do you remember?
Roca Moore was the other really good guard.
So they had 2 good guards, and it was one of the Santa Clara teams that, traditional, just tried to outscore you, and they were scary matchup like they are now. You know what I mean? Where you just kind of like, all right, we're better than this team, but they're good. And if we dick around with them, we could get beat. Anyway, I remember that game. Was it after a timeout that you did the high ball screen, or was that in the flow of it at the end? Go through the play for the listeners if you don't mind.
Well, I think Brown Ridge hits like a shot to like tie
it. Yes.
And we called a timeout. So we called a timeout, and I was playing pretty good, but never has coach ever said like,
we're running a play for David.
Yeah, here's David. You go make this happen. So we go, and coach just kind of draws it up, and he just like doesn't do much. He just says like, get it
ball screen.
Get it to me, and then just use momentum, high ball screen, and I was like, and he's like, go score, and I was like, oh, okay. So one of the first times he ever did that, and it worked out. It was a great moment.
Yeah, no, it was a high ball screen. You were going to your left, right? It was a left hand finish, if my memory serves, right?
It was on the left side. It was right-handed. Finish,
but you went scoop underneath, right? Yeah, it was kind of a buzzer beater. It was a moment for us.
Yeah, because we don't make the tournament if we don't win that game.
It was a weird year as far as injuries. There was not much depth on that team.
No, we had lost Kelly the year before.
Lost Kelly. I think Kevin had turf toe all that whole year, and Gary had his wrist too and a knee.
Yeah,
It was both, right? Where he couldn't, like, the whole backcourt was kind of like wounded.
Yeah.
And then off the bench, I think it was Drew Barnum was our 4-man. It's nothing against Drew, but like he's not a 4.
Yeah.
And that's how like limited.
Yeah.
Depth
Shemek was a freshman, so super raw.
Yeah, Shemek couldn't play then. And Shemek's great, but he wasn't, he just couldn't make a layup back then. You know what I mean? Like he got way better over time, but he was fumbling and falling down.
He was finding himself.
Yeah, exactly. So that was an interesting team, but it was a weird year because we had some not bad losses, but like you guys couldn't get a rhythm. And then didn't you guys lose? And again, we're not trying to shit on this team, but didn't you guys lose 2 in a weekend? Wasn't that year in the WCC?
I don't think so. No,
yes,
must be talking about somebody else.
No, it was like San Diego and who else?
We lost to San Diego.
San Diego. Didn't you have an 0-for-2 weekend?
No chance. Wait, unless we played San Francisco, San Diego.
Didn't you have an 0-for-2 weekend? I think I remember coming back.
I have a short memory.
And I think your dad came in too and like was like, gave a little pep talk, but everybody was pissed off. I swear to God, it was that year. Anyway.
Yeah. It's a good thing I got the blinders on.
I know. Well, you just, I get it. Forget and move on. Next play, whatever you want to call it. But it was interesting that game. Like, you're right. If you don't make that shot, like, probably don't make the tournament, but it would have been sneaking it in.
Yeah.
And then who'd you guys beat? Was it BYU? Was BYU in the league then? I can't remember.
Yeah. So it goes, we beat Santa Clara, we beat St. Mary's in the semis, and then we beat BYU.
What St. Mary's team was that? What was the backcourt?
That was with.
Was it Delhi or?
Delhi had left the year before. Okay. I believe.
What was their backcourt?
It would have been the kid from Jesuit. I forget his name.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I measured St. Mary's teams. Like, who is their point guard? You know what I mean? Because it's hard. They all meddle together. But that was an interesting year, especially coaching. Because I never coached before. Then obviously I was still out of mind of a player.
Yeah.
And then I remember that's the first year I think kind of Coach Few like turned the page on shooting a lot of threes because he kind of had to. Remember that team?
Yeah.
Like Kevin could obviously shoot shit out of it. You could shoot it. Gary could shoot shit out of it. Drew Barnum that was his deal.
Yeah.
So like we used to shoot a lot of threes before it was like analytical or like planned. And I remember sitting back because I was second row and one of the assistant coaches, like I think it was like 5th game in, we're shooting a lot of threes. And I was like, do you see the fucking team that we have? Like we're going to shoot a ton of threes. Like we had no choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an interesting year because you guys beat the Oklahoma State Marcus Smart team, right? In the first round.
Yep. In the first round.
And then lost to that really good Arizona team that
really
made it to Elite Eight. That had like, who was it? Hollis Jefferson or whatever.
Yeah. Hollis Jefferson.
Aaron Gordon,
TJ McConnell.
Yeah. It was a really good
team.
team.
They were pretty good.
They were really good.
Gabe York.
Yeah.
They were really good.
Yeah. They were really good. But that was a great coaching year. But, I just remember that tournament game. It was like, whoa. And I remember that after the tournament, remember we had a good time in Vegas.
Yeah, that was good. Great time.
Great time.
That's the Vegas, after you win the championship.
It's always fun. I never got to experience that because we never played there, obviously. But I remember the bill somehow got passed my way. You guys were young kids, but I was just like, all right, you know what I mean? It was. I was like, all right, guys, I'm 30 or whatever, 29 at the time. Like, all right, I'll pay for these little fuckers.
Held it down for us always, man.
I did. I just, but it was just like, I was not happy walking back to my room that night. I was like, this is such bullshit, man. Then we got to throw me $100, but that's before NIL and stuff. You guys didn't have any money.
Yeah.
So technically, you might have broken a violation there. Oh, well, guys.
Yeah. I think
in the past.
Yeah.
Buying somebody a drink's not a thing, especially guys that are of age.
Yeah.
Because we were at a Vegas bar and you can't sneak in there anymore. Even back then, like you're getting carded, you know what I mean? So we could edit this out if you wanted to, though.
No, I'm good.
That's on you.
No, I mean, that's it's important that the team, if you want to be a good team, that you're out hanging out and partying with each other.
You got to hang out and party with each other.
I firmly believe that.
Talk about the year before with Kelly and that group, that first team to go number 1. Like just give us a synopsis on like how cool that was to be part of that team. Cause that was obviously Dan had great teams. We had myself had great teams. We never got to number one seed. Like you guys broke the barrier. There's levels to this deal. And just tell me what it was like. Cause I remember around town, it was nuts.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was just cool.
Really
like
cool.
just talk about that, like being part of that team.
I think that, like you said, there was just like an air around town that was, everywhere you walked, people were just feeling good, man. On campus was electric. Our home court advantage.
It was unbelievable.
So good back then.
That's part of when like the kennel was like really going. Anyway.
Yeah. And we can talk about that later, but that's, it was fun. I mean, Kelly obviously was just so sound. He had really found, his balance basically. I mean, he was like grown up into his body a little bit and he was shooting it, scoring at a high clip.
Yeah. He's such a tough matchup.
Yeah.
Just period.
And then you have freshman Shemek, you have Sam Dower, who's just kind of automatic, like hook shots and mid-range, really good player.
Lefty.
Man. And then just add the guards with Kevin and Gary and Mike Hart. We just had a really good group. We worked really hard that summer, hung out a ton. Nobody went home. And it was like, we just kind of figured out that was going to be our year. And, it was good.
Well, it was interesting because, like I said, it was the first time that Gonzaga, like, national stage got recognized as like a true powerhouse instead of like it's still Cinderella, like that. Even my teams were viewed as that, which I understand. But I just remember like, the number one shirts and all that shit around town was nuts, man. Like, was Elias on that team?
Of course, yeah. He was obviously. I can't believe I forgot him. He won
Elias really Harris on that team. Yep. I just remember it's like you guys are just beating the shit out of everybody. That's when Mike Hart like came into that role. Didn't he get that gig like that? What was that Washington State game? Is that where he got that gig basically that year? Like started playing. Like, didn't you guys have a weird deal in Washington State?
We had to win with like I think Kelly. I mean,
somebody like
Pangos hit like a game winner, probably like a floater.
But somebody was playing, like somebody was hurt or playing shitty, and he got like thrown in there and like played really good stretch, and then he started playing a ton.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
But yeah, no, I remember that year was pretty crazy, just especially around town. It was obviously one of the better teams we've ever had. It's interesting. Like you won 4 WCCs or what? Did you win all 4 of the tournaments? Do you remember?
So my red shirt year, I didn't play. We lost the tournament to Sam Han.
Oh, okay.
And then my next year, we won both outright, and then the tournament, and then the year that you obviously won at the
number 1 seed year. Yeah.
Yeah. So the in between year. So Kevin and Gary's first year, we lost. We did not win the
tournament.
The tournament. Well, we didn't win the regular season. That was the first time in like forever.
Oh.
And then we won the tournament, or we didn't win the tournament that year. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know we did lose one of the tournaments like later on too. Yeah. So I think that was that year.
So just give me a little insight into your professional career that people don't know. Like you obviously played some in the league, and then you've played G League overseas. Can you just fill us in, like the people listening, like what that process is like, what the grind is like, where you've played, all those things?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I started out, like I said, second round pick in the G League.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys don't even make the team usually. So to make the team there, have a great year, then earn a call-up, 2 call-ups that year, and get signed with Sacramento to start. And just kind of since then, kind of going in and out of the G League, and going overseas occasionally. I never really liked the overseas grind. Like, you're gone 10 months.
Yeah. Might not get paid.
You might not get paid.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to play FIBA ball, when I was early on. And it wasn't until I played like all those USA teams, like the FIBA Cup windows, that I kind of realized like how different of a game you have to change your whole mentality, for it. And then like the last probably 5 years, I've been just going G League in the fall, and then
you do Puerto Rico,
right? in the summer.
Explain the Puerto Rico thing, because I've always thought that's unique. Isn't it a quick season?
It's a quick season, and it's kind of nice. It's like, it's really blown up, I guess, since I started. So I started in a bubble down there. Like they were just like scrambling to get a season together in 2020. And so I go down there, and find out like, man, Puerto Rico, tiny island, they have, 12 teams. They'll sell out 20,000 people arenas. I mean, that's just,
I've seen some
crazy
highlights.
how much
It's crazy.
they
Love hoops.
love hoops. And it's, so I kind of loved that atmosphere. And, the initial team that I played for over there, they had this thing called the tablado right outside the gym is like a river, and it's just bars on a like
Sounds
scaffolding right outside the arena. So just that after the game, like going out after a win, and there's just like thousands of people just out there all outside, it was just super fun. And that's where I've been kind of doing that for the last 5 years.
What's the level, like just beyond, like what's the hoops like down there? Is it good hoops, or is it a mix?
It's getting a lot better. Like, so when I went there at first, it was like, oh, all the imports are guys that have like kind of been there before and kind of found this niche league that they're good in. And now it's like, if you're not like a ex-NBA guy that's fresh out of the NBA, you're not getting.
They're not going to get you in there.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It's there's a ton of like really, really good talent there.
Good players.
And the Puerto Rican talent too has just followed it. And so there's like a ton of young kids.
They've done well, like in the Olympics in the past. Like they put together like real teams.
Yeah.
Just out of, obviously Puerto Rican natives.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always interesting because I've seen, Instagram reels or whatever, and sometimes you're like, dude, that looks awesome to play down there, and it looks crazy too, though. And then also like fights and shit. And
yeah. I mean, I got like ejected from a bunch of games because it's like they're getting super fiery, and like then I had like some guy like charge me, and I had to headbutt him, and then the fans are just throwing
batteries and shit.
Yeah, batteries, and then like full on
coins,
like, drinks at you.
Beers.
Nobody could walk on the court. It was like, all right, well the game's canceled, or the power's out, and the power out goes out there. That court becomes an ice rink, and they're like, no, we should still play. It's just like, no, I'm not walking out of here.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. When I played in Serbia, there was a couple of games I got ejected from one game. Same thing. I was like, tried to punch him and stuff, but it was like, whatever. It's fun. You know what I mean? Like getting ejected from a game is kind of cool. Like,
yeah.
I wanted to do, what's the baseball player from, that played for the Royals as the all-time, what's his name?
Brett?
Yeah.
George Brett.
Yes. I wanted to do that once in my life. Where you just come running out and was screaming at it like an ump or a ref, like
awesome.
Just nose to nose. But I've always imagined like, just let me do that once in one game and just walk out with my head held high. But
I'm getting close in Little League Baseball right now, coaching.
Do you get like fined when you get ejected over there, or they just
don't do it again? They're starting to like just make up prices. Like if you're like an ex-NBA guy, they're like, $5,000, So it's like they're just
what's the like just curious real quick, like when you go to those, just to give people context, do you get your money up front or do you do it by monthly? Because like obviously this, but I'm giving people context listening. Yeah. When you go to Europe, like everything's guaranteed as a highly quotatious, and that's not a knock on anybody's culture or where they're from, but like sometimes they're just like, we're not going to pay you. And then you can go, okay, if they're a FIBA team, you can sue them. And what was it, the one in Sweden or whatever. So, but they're like, all right, we'll see you next year. Come all the way over here to try to get $20,000 out of us. And then you got to spend $7,000 on a lawyer, and then you got to fly out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they kind of do it that way. What's it like over there? So you pay up front, or you just do half, or what'd you do?
Well, I just do weekly.
Yeah.
Just because it gets there, it's quicker. And a ton of the teams now in Puerto Rico are owned by like Americans or reggaeton artists. Like Bad Bunny was the owner of one of my other teams, and those checks are always on time.
Yeah, they're clearing. That makes sense.
So like that was the good part about it, and it's all it's still part of the U.S. So you're not completely blind if they like try to screw you over. You can like kind of have some, you can get some American help, but it's in Europe is a little bit different. They can just be like, no, well, we're not paying you anymore.
Yeah, no, what I did is I had them pay me half up front and then literally pay me like, it was like $15K in cash. Like when I see you at the airport with the serial numbers printed that matched my serial numbers for my hundreds. So I knew it wasn't fake.
Yeah.
But I was advised to do that. And that's what I did. Like, hey, nice to meet you. And like, I'll get in your taxi once you put the thing. You have to though, because I heard horror stories of guys that go over there, play their ass off, play really good, and then they get nothing. And then, like I said, they're like, "Well, just sue us," and you're like, "Okay," which you can, but it's like, and then they just go, "Well, we're just not a club anymore," and they just change owner. Like it's just the laws are different.
Yeah, and that's why it's good, like for people to know that. I mean, the United States is a pretty great place.
Yeah,
you know
it's exactly when you go play overseas and you come back, you're like, oh, maybe it ain't so bad over here.
You're kissing the ground when you touch down. For real,
it's like there is laws and there's like employment laws and stuff. Not that there isn't in Europe, but it's just different. Like it's just different. Like that, everything's not guaranteed, and it's just always interesting. Your brother Mike's played over there for how many years?
I think he's on 13 or
13.
Yeah.
Has he had any like horror stories with that? He's in a pretty good league though, right?
He's been mostly good leagues, but I mean, he played in Saratov, Russia, and that was all like weird under the table.
Yeah,
like
we'll pay you maybe if you win.
Yeah, it's weird. And I think Greece, they still owe him a bunch of money, and Greece is probably like the worst one I've heard about.
Yeah, two really good teams, but it's always like shaky. It was the money wise, from what I heard too. Like good league, like Euro League teams, but that's the Panthiakos and the other one. Olympiacos, and then it's like other than that, don't go play there.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Well, like being a former player, what's the biggest thing that you've noticed from the time that you've played there to like the guys now? Because you help out some of the players, right?
Well, I mean, I'd like to lead with like that's what you guys did. Like you guys came back and because we couldn't practice, and that was like huge for us.
Yeah, no, I always thought it was fun playing with you guys. I always felt connected to your group and then the group before. I always tell people that. I'm like, if the good Gonzaga teams and the guys, you meld with two groups, your own and then the one prior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely. Or previous.
Yeah.
Or prior, after, or whatever.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like but like watching now, do you sit there and like I do? I'm like, man, I wish we would have run like open one ball screens and like DHOs. Like we didn't run any of that shit when
we had like flex and
same here.
Chin and just a ton of different stuff.
Yeah. So watching now, are you like, dang it, why couldn't we run that shit?
Yeah, a little bit. I go in and I just try to get like I don't even think about what the coaches want. You know what I mean? I think this is like the perfect time for college players to like kind of explore and see like maybe I can add a couple things here.
Yeah.
Maybe like this is like a very pro style thing that like if you want to be a good pro, like you kind of got to have these things.
Yeah.
And so even if you're not using them a ton in college, I think it's always good to like be exposed to it. And then, just keeping that community tight with the younger guys. It's like I've been out of the game a little bit because I play in Puerto Rico. In the summers. And so I don't really know these guys, but now that I'm back here this summer, just kind of working out that I have like, there's a connection and then, somebody in town that they know. Granted, they're getting paid a lot more than everyone now, but it's still the same community and,
Yeah, no, it's just interesting too, though, like watching now and then compared to when we play like the style and then obviously NIL and transfer portal changes everything. But like, like I always give Fewy shit and like, why can't we run this shit that you guys run when I was playing there? Obviously, I got a lot of stuff run for me, but like the open floor stuff is so much different now.
Yeah.
Compared to when we play. Like you had to make tough contested jumpers. There's always a post player in the way. Like now they like, they move them or they pick and pop, stuff like that. So anyway, I just want to get your take as a point guard. But what it looks like watching the games now. Do you watch every game or do you watch?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard sometimes.
Yeah, you got
to to watch them all.
You have to find some free, like weird sites, some weird.
Why am I watching
links.
This shit? Like, why do I have to call this game? Like, we win by 35. Man, it's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, okay, Pepperdine, good luck to you. Last thing, what do you think about like us going to the Pac-12? Like, because I talked about it all this season. Like, it was a little bit nostalgic being on the road, and like. And you obviously played in the WCC. We're like, we're never going to step foot in one of these gyms ever again. And they're kind of cool. They're unique. We laugh about them like, oh, they're rinky dinks. Like, not really. They're pretty cool. And then the Jesuit aspect.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on it as a former player?
I think like all of this, it's sad in a way. I get it. Everything's money driven. I mean, that's also sad too. But like, you know, we'll get a little bit more money probably being in the Pac-12.
Should, in theory.
But I just don't like the travel schedule. I think Gonzaga is known for playing such a tough non-conference schedule that I don't want that. I don't want us to like play a tough non-conference now and then lose in, you know, Colorado Springs at 8,000 feet, you know, on a random, or in Texas State or wherever we're going. It's like 2 hours out of our time zone. No one wants to be there. Now they're a little bit better team than Pepperdine or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think staying on your time zone is like important for a player. I've noticed it as I've gotten older.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I think you can see it too in the other leagues where like UW just goes and gets hammered on the East Coast in their new conference. Like it's hard to do that.
Yeah, no, the Big Ten for, you know, UW and whoever else joined the Oregon or whatever, just for not football, it's just like, dude, this is and it's funny, like Mick Cronin is always like talking about it and people give him crap, but he's like, he kind of has a point.
He does.
And like he you know, I think it doesn't come off the best way. Obviously he's a great coach and it's a great program, but you're also like, yeah, he's going 3 hours out of the time zone. And then their tough trip is coming to LA, you know what I mean? In December, it's like, it's such an advantage the other side, but
yeah. And their shoot arounds at what? Like if it's at 8 a.m., it's 5 a.m. your time. I mean, 100%. I hate those.
I know.
I hate them.
Yeah, no, it is a big difference. And then also you're like, what happened to the student athlete aspect? But everybody's just like, that's bullshit now. It's like, it kind of is, but then let's just not even call it.
Let's just sign Drew Timme then back to Gonzaga.
Let's just
do
it.
They're all pros.
100%.
I mean, and you'd get a way better product.
Yeah.
You know, like Killian Tilly does well overseas. He's 10 times better than the guy that's making $3 million right now.
100%.
Like if you're gonna be paying that much, you might as well pay for like the best.
Yeah. Welcome back to the perimeter. I got Luke Hristou and David Stockton. We're going to talk about the Real Rat series. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me on.
I saw the pilot. There was a little spot where I was calling the UCLA game, and there was a poster of me on the wall. I was like, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Can you just, for the listeners, tell us, like, you know, elevator speech, we'll get into the bones of it a little bit more, but like, what is the Real Rat series?
Yeah, so it's been a 6-year journey up to now. I grew up kind of coming here, going to Hoop Fest, that kind of thing. Houston and I actually went to kindergarten together.
Oh, okay.
So I'm from Utah, so I knew these guys when they were in Utah. And I always had this connection to Spokane. I got into filmmaking later on in life, and then just so happened like 2020 happened. I was just coming off film school, which sort of got derailed by COVID. But the last project there was, it was like meant to be like a web series. And I wrote this project about basketball. I was a college basketball player too. And I was like, well, if we're going to do this, it should be in Spokane. It's literally called Hooptown USA. And I love it there. And I'd always been coming up here. So it's just been kind of a long progression of, you know, I wrote it, and then we had to build the cast and crew, and that took a year. And then it took another year to like get it kind of like funded and off the ground, and we had to pare it down. So we made a proof of concept in 2023, which is like a short film kind of thing. And then we raised some more money. We rewrote a full pilot script. So this episode is like what you would see as like a episode 1 on a TV show now. So it's a full like 40 minutes episode. And we had to raise money for that. And that was a whole process, and just like putting ourselves out there. We had a podcast with Brennan and all this kind of stuff that we've been trying to do. And then, we raised the money and shot the full pilot in 2024. David was in it. He comes and plays as one of the noon ball boys that gets some run. So he was cooking up some people in there. And then David's son is also in it. So I've really pulled like every connection we possibly can, just because we're independent and we're just trying to make it happen. So it's, and we're debuting it in 2 weeks at the Garland Theater, May 21st.
May 21st. Where did you get the idea from? You've always been into films, obviously hoops, and you're just like, so like, give us like, is it a drama? Is it a comedy? Yeah,
we call it a dramedy. So it's probably more so, if we would have made it into a full season of television, it probably would have leaned more comedy.
Okay.
For this specifically, we threw in some dramatic elements to at least give you a taste of like, okay, this is how it could look if we like played it out over a whole season. Because you never know in this world if you're going to get another crack. So we kind of wanted to throw as much into this as we could.
As you could.
But yeah, there's some really funny parts. I mean, the premise is we filmed 80% of it at the warehouse, which is really cool. So we basically fictionalized what it would be like if the warehouse actually, wasn't owned by John and run basically like as it is now. So because it's a really hard, I mean, in real life, that would be a very hard like business to upkeep and to keep the lights on and things like that. So we took that concept, put it together, and then really incorporated all the elements of Spokane hoops and Spokane basketball. And that part you were referencing is we put a little upfront, like 5-minute sort of ode to Hooptown and Spokane and sort of what makes it what it is. And that was a Gonzaga part of it that we put into it, because obviously that plays a huge part.
Like any Gonzaga players besides David in this?
No, we not as of yet. I mean, we would hope to if we could keep it going.
Bullshit, you got to pay everybody.
Exactly.
Nobody would just do it for fun.
It's tough, and we were working on very limited budget. So it was Mike Stockton was in the proof of concept. We had him kind of be like this funky like basketball trainer. That was pretty funny. So he had fun with that. But we've just, really even just getting awareness here in town. Yeah. It's taken us 6 years to like even get that. So it's a hard process just getting the word out. That's why they spend millions of dollars on movies, promotions and stuff like that. So
how hard is it to, I mean, I don't know how to say this, but like how hard is it to raise money for film? Yeah, I mean, like just because it costs a lot, like just in general. Obviously, I don't know, but being around commercials, doing a few commercials, I'm like, holy shit, that looks like this is a lot of money for like 30 seconds, and I'm on camera for 5 of it,
and the amount of people,
and like how many takes you got to do exactly, like
I mean, so a typical network pilot would probably go for like $1 million, $1
million just right off the top,
and we had raised $20K. So, and that's what we shot for. So it's like 1/100th of a typical budget basically. But I think it's because of that, and given that I'm so pumped and proud of what we have, because we're kind of the 16 seed in the tournament. We're the underdog for sure. But I mean, given what we have, like I think it couldn't have gone better. So I'm excited about it.
David, like, just talk about like, having the warehouse, I've said it on this show before, like having the warehouse, what it's done for the Spokane community, but like just talk about that and, being able to do something like this with Luke, but like all the unique experiences you've had of having your dad own that place, but like what it's done for the Spokane community, like in general. Like, I mean, it's weird talking about yourself in that regards, but like I've always said it, I'm like, the warehouse saved Spokane basketball from a sense of like AAU. Like when I grew up, we had practice on the carpet courts. There was no central. There's never tournaments here because you could never find the gyms. Yeah. And then when the warehouse was built, it was after. But I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And then the hub came. Blah blah blah. But just talk about that a little bit if you don't mind.
I think just overall, I mean, I played every single AAU game there.
Yeah.
By the time we had moved back, the warehouse had been open for like 2 or 3 years, and I think. But there was some sort of thing where they voted on like the best thing built basically in Spokane at around that time, and the warehouse was like number 1.
It's not even close
for what it's been, its availability in central area in town. It's just been great for basketball.
Yeah,
and for me especially, just being able to work out in the summer with my dad, and then even like that 2020 year. To that national championship team, I mean, they were in there 5 days a week because they couldn't go anywhere else. So I think you add all that up, and then to be able to have Luke, someone that could not be, our families are as close as they get, and to have him come up here and be able to use it and really showcase what Spokane's all about, And I think when you say he did this for $20K, I mean, I think that's the most Spokane thing like I've ever heard. Basketball is just such a, it wasn't a thing for the rich and the whatever. It was just something that people can do around here, and it's just pretty cool that we're kind of sharing that story.
Yeah, no, it's cool that the series is, or the pilot shot there, but then just all the history with the warehouse in general. And like, I don't know, like I said, I've told people like there would be no volleyball and centralized tournaments. Obviously, there's the podium now, there's the hub, but there was none of that shit growing up. And then I've always appreciated about the warehouse, and this is going to sound funny, but like the parents listening who have kids in any type of sport, like you never get gouged at the door. You never have to pay for parking. Like that shit's real. Like you go to other places, like they're going to get you coming and going every single time. And you know, the excuse, well, you got to pay for it. I get it. But like just having that, what your dad's done for the community, just in general, just as a, like, you know, obviously you might, you know, make something off of it, but it's not like you guys aren't getting rich off of that place. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, here's for the community. Here's a gym, 5 courts. Obviously it was, especially when it first came, the Delta Center floor was dope. You're like, dude, this is where, you know, your dad played, Karl Malone, Jordan played here, all that stuff. I think it's just unique, but it's cool that's tied into this series. So
yeah, super cool.
Yeah, I've always, I don't know, I think I kind of said, I said it during my the jersey thing, you know, like to your dad, like just the other guys that were you know, retired, but like thank you for the warehouse, but like I hope your dad knows that, like from the Spokane community, like straight up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Does he know that?
I think he does. He likes.
He just doesn't give a shit.
No, he does. I think he just doesn't seek it out. You know.
No, he doesn't. Yeah. One thing I would like to say: can he repaint the fucking sidelines though in that place? You can't see him in the Jazz court. You can't. Just repaint the lines. I'll ask. Can I?
I don't think they make the paint anymore. Like that's how old this thing is. Like you'd have to like find like a paint mixologist or something to go in there and figure out what.
You can't see the lines. You just can't. On the side, like when you're going across,
or nobody can.
Nobody can't. Like the baseline, even the refs don't even know. Like, just repaint the lines.
Yeah.
Can we start a GoFundMe for that?
Yeah, we can try.
So what's your goals like with this series? Like, what do you want to happen after it?
Yeah, I mean, ultimate goal would be that we can just first and foremost get it out to a broader audience. I mean, that was our big goal this time. That's why we put that whole thing up front with the first 5 minutes, because I want people outside of Spokane, you know, that's why I've been so obsessed over this project. Like everybody here knows like how magical hoops culture is, but it's hard to explain sometimes other than like a Gonzaga. But you tell someone about a hoop fest or this or that, they're like, oh, that sounds cool. But I really want to get it out broader after the premiere so we can put it out online. That's probably the plan, so that we can just get it to as many people as possible. And then hopefully, you know, have some broader conversations with like producers and financiers or whoever could be interested. I mean, the premise works. Spokane and basketball works. Like every time I bring that up to people, they're like, cool, I get it. Real rat, gym rat, got it. Like, so I will always be convinced it can work. You know, it's just, this industry is a crapshoot and it's really hard to get things off the ground. So we'll see. We've formed a couple connections and we're just going to try to keep building and make those conversations as we go and see if we can keep going.
Is there a way that people can see it like on YouTube or anything like that? That
would be the plan. Yeah. So after the premiere, after the 21st, we will probably be putting it out shortly thereafter, just so we at least like capture that momentum that we have. And so, so we'll be putting that out. When exactly, I'm not sure right this second, but.
All right. Last question. And who is the best like real rat that no one knows about in Spokane, like gym rat, like, because the noon ball runs are like legendary, but like, who do you think is like the all-timer noon ball warehouse legend, David?
I mean, I think there's a couple guys.
I know, but
I think Shanfurch is up there.
Oh, you're right, Prof, dude, no question.
I mean, I think even Axton is one of those guys.
I coach with Axe. Yeah, he's a good dude.
You know, he's always there. And
yeah, he's like, I play like 4 days a week.
I mean, he sets his schedule around it and just gets it done. There's so many. Luke's probably more dialed into the.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like all timers. I mean, Houston's getting in there now. Nielsen, I mean, is kind of a Sunday League guy. Axe. We're getting to be the old timers in there now. I mean, we played yesterday with Axe, and he has his days where he's not moving as well, but he's so damn effective. It's crazy, you know.
He's a good player. So it's crazy. Like the listeners, because you always hear about it, but like, dude, that noon ball and the Sunday league has been going on for 20 years. And it's like, it's legit real good run.
Yeah.
It's not your LA Fitness bullshit. Like if you get invited to that run, it's pretty special, but like there ain't bad guys going to that and bad players. So like it's pretty competitive and pretty solid, run. I've played in it a few times. I don't play much anymore, but
yeah, it'll ramp up now in like springtime when Hoop Fest gets closer, and then obviously all of our local pros get back.
And
I'm trying to get a lot of the ZAG guys over there because it's away from the oversight of the coaches and stuff. So I think it's a good place. So
yeah, no, it's nice to have somewhere where you can just go hoop, and then there's not the eye in the sky watching you and telling you to come off the ball screen better or something like that. And I get that, like
places for all of it.
There's a time and place for everything, but sometimes it's like, dude, I just want to go hoop. I don't want to listen to anything you're talking about. But yeah, appreciate you guys coming on. Go over when is it coming out again, if you don't mind?
Yeah, May 21st at the Garland Theater. Doors open at 6:30 and showtime will be at 7. It's about 45 minutes. So everything will probably wrap up around 8:15. And yeah, I'd love to see you out there. And
is the 21st a Friday?
It's a Thursday. So it's basically the Thursday leading into Memorial Day.
Oh, perfect. So check it out if you're in Spokane. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Yep.